Welcome to Tomorrow Unveiled, where we explore the cutting edge of innovation that's shaping our world. This week, we're getting strapped in to the incredible revolution happening in wearable technology. It's a field that's moving really fast, beyond just simple gadgets, becoming almost an intimate extension of ourselves.
It really is. I mean, imagine interacting with your tech using just a subtle thought, maybe a tiny microgesture, or, having your shoes actively manage your health. It sounds like science fiction, doesn't it? But it's not anymore. The breakthroughs just from the past week in wearables are making this real. Our dedicated research team has, they've waded through a mountain of info to bring you the most exciting, corroborated insights, really digging into what it means to be strapped into this future.
Yeah, because for years, wearables were, let's be honest, kind of passive, right? Step counters, basic heart rate monitors,
Yeah.
mostly just logging stuff. But the research team that compiled this for us, they're showing this clear accelerating shift. It's moving towards active, symbiotic human-computer integration. These aren't just accessories now.
No, not at all. They're becoming primary computing devices, designed as seamless extensions of our own capabilities. We're actually seeing the smartphone maybe losing its spot as the central hub, replaced by, a whole suite of integrated specialized wearables.
So what does this actually mean for you, our listener? What's the big picture here?
Well, what's truly fascinating is how everything's coming together. You've got accessible AR hardware, you've got these really intuitive neural interfaces, and powerful AI that can actually interpret biological data. It's this combination that's creating this whole new way of doing things. It's a real shift. Technology isn't just on your body, it's becoming part of how you interact with the digital world. Blurring lines we once thought were pretty solid.
Absolutely. So over the next few minutes, we're going to dive deep into the groundbreaking launches, the research making this happen. We'll look at the incredible real-world uses, health, productivity, entertainment, and frankly, we need to look at the real challenges too. What needs to be sorted out before this stuff is everywhere? It's going to be an insightful journey, so let's jump right in.
Okay, let's unpack some of the biggest innovations, bridging that physical and digital world, starting with these neural interfaces and subtle control. Our research flagged the upcoming reveal of Meta's AR glasses, codename Hypernova, probably Celeste when it launches, set for September 17th, 2025. What's the big deal with Meta's approach here?
Well, what's really game-changing, I think, is that it's not just the glasses. They're paired with a neural wristband. It's called Ceres, and it uses something called surface electromyography, or SEMG. Basically, this tech reads the tiny electrical signals going from your brain down to your wrist muscles.
Okay, so it reads the signals. What does that let you do? Right, the impact is it translates these incredibly subtle microgestures, like just a tiny tap of your thumb and index finger, into digital commands. This completely changes how we can control devices discreetly. No more awkward voice commands or fiddling with the device itself.
And the glasses themselves sound pretty sleek. The research mentioned an AR light vision. What's that mean for the user? How sleek are we talking?
Yeah, they're designed for glanceable contextual info. Think notifications, navigation, maybe AI responses. It uses a monocular waveguide display, essentially one lightweight lens projecting info into your view. And it's all packed into a fashionable Ray-Ban Wayfarer design. Weighs only about 70 grams.
70 grams, that's really light.
Yeah, and the pricing around $800, that's pretty aggressive. It signals Meta really wants to define this AR light category and grab that developer ecosystem early.
Aggressive pricing, yeah. But is there a risk there for Meta? I mean, is it a bit move fast and break things in such a sensitive area like AR and neural control? Or do you think this strategy pays off?
That's a really crucial question. The research suggests it's a calculated risk. By pricing it like that, they're aiming for market penetration, right? And building that developer community, which is often make or break for new platforms. And the AR light approach, it kind of sidesteps some of the bigger technical challenges of full AR, makes it easier to deliver something functional and appealing sooner. It's really a bet on getting lots of people using it, driving that next wave.
Makes sense. But Meta's not the only one playing in this neural interface space,
Yeah.
right? What other players are making moves here, according to our research?
No, definitely not. Our findings pointed to Wearable Devices Ltd. They just got a significant U.S. patent September 10th for a gesture and voice-controlled interface device. What's interesting there is the hybrid approach. It's multimodal. So voice commands for big actions like open an app, But then neural gestures from the wrist for the fine-tuned stuff like scrolling or manipulating 3D objects. And crucially, it includes integrated biometric authentication using unique neural and voice signatures. That makes it viable for high stakes, uses enterprise, industrial control, secure finance.
Biometrics built right in.
Exactly, and they're already seeing success. Their Mudra Link system generated about $294,000 in revenue in just the first half of 2025.
Okay, so we've got devices reading muscle signals from the wrist. But what about even more direct silent communication? Our research also mentioned the Alter Ego silent speech wearable. How's that different?
Right, Alter Ego. It's a lightweight headset, but it uses EMG sensors positioned differently to detect neuromuscular signals from your face and throat. It actually decodes those signals into text or commands, pretty fast too, up to 100 words per minute. So it allows this kind of near telepathic communication with devices and AI. You can interact just by internally vocalizing without making a sound.
Wow. Okay, building on that silent input idea, the research also highlights some really cutting-edge stuff like UCLA's AI-enhanced brain-computer interface, BCI, that takes non-invasive control even further using scalp EEG signals. So we've got wristbands using muscle signals, now direct brainwave interpretation. What's the practical difference of, the user, which is easier, more powerful?
That's a great question, and it really shows the spectrum here. Wristband systems like Meta's SEMG or wearable devices, LTDs, they're about detecting intended physical actions, those tiny muscle twitches before you actually move. So they feel quite intuitive for gestures. EEG-based BCIs, like the UCLA system, they're aiming to interpret pure thought or intent directly from brainwaves. That offers potentially profound control, especially for people with severe motor limitations. They're still, a bit more complex to set up, but they promise control beyond physical gestures. Each has its place, its ideal use case, but together they really show the breadth of this silent interaction potential.
Right, and beyond these sort of mind-blowing neural controls, AI-powered wearables and smart glasses are getting really versatile for everyday life, too. Rocket glasses seem like a good example.
Yeah, exactly. These are super lightweight AR glasses, just 49 grams. They've got dual monochrome micro LED displays and an AI chip on board for large language models. Functionality-wise, think peripheral view text, overlays navigation, translation. They integrate with AI assistants like ChatGPT-5 using the camera. And the pricing looks like it's around $599, really pushing that glanceable, contextual info in a discrete package.
And Amazon's getting in on the action, too, it seems, with their Jayhawk consumer AR glasses. What's their focus?
Amazon's Jayhawk. Yeah, they're actively developing those. They're slated to have microphones, speakers, camera, a full-color display. Amazon seems to be emphasizing a lightweight design for things like shopping, navigation, productivity, and of course aiming for seamless integration with their Alexa AI ecosystem. It's a clear play to embed AR right into their massive retail and service world.
So we're seeing these big players push glanceable AR for everyday stuff. But what if your everyday is a bit more extreme or involves specific sports? Are there wearables being built for those tougher scenarios?
Oh, absolutely. That's where something like the Bleak Up Ranger AI sports glasses fits in. It's like a 4-in-1 wearable designed for athletes, outdoor types. Combines an AI action camera, continuous video recording, open-ear directional audio, and optional Zeiss lenses. It can capture full HD point-of-view video for up to 5 hours, uses AI for noise processing, lets you tag highlights with one tap, all for about $379. It's all about hands-free capture and augmenting your adventures.
And speaking of seamless interaction, the TimeKettle W4 AI interpreter earbuds, they seem to be making big strides in real-time language translation.
They really are. These use bone conduction transmitting sound through your bones to your inner ear, not traditional speakers. And they have a bone voice print sensor to filter out background noise, which is super important for clarity in noisy places. Paired with their new BabelOS 2.0 platform, they're achieving near real-time translation. We're talking like a 0.2-second lag and about 98% accuracy across 42 languages and 95 accents. At $349, that's a pretty significant step towards breaking down language barriers for travelers, for business.
98% accuracy across 42 languages. That sounds amazing. But, for high-stakes business or critical stuff, is almost perfect good enough. What about that 2% error margin? How do these devices handle potential misunderstandings?
That's a really vital point. That 98% accuracy is fantastic for general conversation, for travel, makes things much easier in many situations. But for critical high-stakes communication like international diplomacy or maybe emergency services, yeah, you'd still want human oversight or professional translators. The research suggests that while the system's aiming for near perfect, that small error margin means users have to be aware that nuances might get lost. Still, for the vast majority of everyday interactions, it dramatically lowers barriers and speeds things up. It's about being fit for purpose, really.
Right. Okay, let's shift gears a bit and talk about advanced health and mobility. Because wearables are doing some truly transformative things there. The HyperShell X Ultra exoskeleton definitely caught my eye. An exoskeleton for hikers. Sounds like sci-fi, but it's real. When you see something like that, what does it signal about the future of, human physical augmentation? Not just for athletes, but maybe for anyone needing a boost.
It signals we're moving beyond just simple assistance to actual physical augmentation, making the body more capable, more resilient. This wearable leg exoskeleton, it's light, only 1.8 kilograms. Straps to your hips and legs, gives you a motorized boost up to 1,000 W peak power. It's designed for hikers, yes, but also athletes and people with mobility impairments. It reduces effort, can assist for 30 kilometers or even 60 kilometers with a spare battery. It's got adaptive modes for different terrains, even Apple Watch integration. Around $19.99. This tech really offers a glimpse into a future where physical limits can be seriously reduced and human endurance dramatically extended, whether you're climbing a mountain or, say, working a physically demanding job.
From boosting your legs to your feet, Datasee's acoustic smart shoes and insoles are also getting attention. There was a big commercialization agreement mentioned in the research.
Yeah, Datasee. Our research found the initial features are things like insole heating, continuous weight monitoring, even ultrasonic sterilization. But the long-term vision is where it gets really wild. Acoustic plus neural modulation for precision health interventions. And their business model is interesting too. It's a usage-based licensing fee, about $1.26 per pair. So they become a tech platform provider, not just selling a component, integrating advanced tech into everyday stuff.
Okay, acoustic plus neural modulation for precision health. That does sound futuristic. How close is that to reality? And what kind of precision interventions are we even talking about?
It definitely sounds advanced, yeah. That acoustic plus neural modulation part is still more in the R&D phase, building on the initial features they're already commercializing. The vision, as I understand it, is using targeted sound waves and maybe subtle neural signals to influence specific biological processes. Maybe even address localized issues in the body, perhaps helping with pain management or improving circulation, things like that. The fact they've got a commercialization deal for the initial smart shoe features suggests they have a solid base to build on for these more complex future integrations. It's kind of a roadmap towards more proactive, localized health management delivered right there at your feet.
And sticking with proactive health, the Samsung Galaxy Watch 8. It's leveraging its advanced sleep tracking.
Right. The Watch 8 can now detect signs of moderate to severe obstructive sleep apnea just from 2 nights of monitoring. That's pretty significant. But what's maybe even more significant is how Samsung is pushing its Health Software Development Kit, the SDK. This lets researchers and developers get secure, consent-based access to really rich health data, sleep stages, heart rate, even things like antioxidant index, vascular load. It's all about fostering innovation through third-party apps, building a whole ecosystem of health insights beyond just what Samsung offers directly.
And finally, on the health front, there was that study from the Scripps Research Institute validating consumer wearables.
Yes, they confirmed that these devices can provide genuinely medical-grade data for monitoring heart rate patterns, hormone fluctuations, even pregnancy outcomes. It just underscores how reliable and sophisticated they're becoming. Moving beyond fitness gadgets to become dependable health companions, capable of delivering data useful in clinical settings.
It's really clear this convergence of tech isn't just theory. It's enabling real applications across so many areas. Let's look at how this integration is transforming health and accessibility for you, the individual listener.
Absolutely. Fundamentally, wearables are shifting healthcare, from reacting to problems to proactively managing health. Think about the Samsung Watch 8 detecting sleep apnea before it gets severe, or Datasee's shoes tracking weight, giving early warnings. And beyond that, these neural interfaces, huge promise for neurorehabilitation. Wristbands, BCIs like the UCLA system, they could let individuals with paralysis control computers, wheelchairs, prosthetic limbs just using their intended movements. That's a profound step towards autonomy. And devices like Alter Ego give speech-impaired individuals new ways to communicate seamlessly and discreetly.
And these advances aren't just personal. They're boosting productivity, industrial efficiency in some incredible ways, too.
Oh, definitely. In industrial settings, think AR glasses paired with neural interfaces like Meta's or wearable devices LTD's tech. They really empower frontline workers. An engineer could see 3D schematics overlaid right onto machinery, get remote guidance, complete checklists using voice and subtle gestures, all while keeping their hands free for the actual work. And those multimodal systems with biometric security, like the Wearable Devices LTD patent, they enable verified actions in high-stakes environments, like signing off on quality control, improves efficiency and safety. Plus, real-time translation earbuds like TimeKettle smooth out global business communication. And exoskeletons like HyperShell can boost endurance for demanding physical jobs, almost creating a kind of super worker for certain tasks.
But, okay, beyond the serious stuff in health and industry,
Right.
how are these devices going to genuinely enrich our daily lives, even change entertainment? What stood out in the research there?
What really stands out is how they're making interactions more intuitive, more immersive. AR glasses, Meta Hypernova, Rokid, Amazon Jayhawk, they're really poised to become our main way of getting quick, glanceable info. Notifications, messages, navigation, without constantly pulling out your phone. Imagine just getting turn-by-turn directions subtly appearing in your peripheral vision while you walk.
Yeah, that sounds pretty useful.
And for gaming, neural wristbands like Meta Series promise a totally revolutionary type of controller, deepening immersion by translating subtle muscle tension or gestures into game commands. Imagine firing a virtual bow just by flicking your wrist, feeling truly connected to that virtual world. Sports glasses, like the Bleak Up Ranger, make filming high-quality POV action hands-free super easy. And those translation earbuds, they make foreign travel and communication effortless, totally transforming the tourist experience.
Okay, this all sounds incredibly exciting, but with technology getting this deeply integrated into our lives, there's got to be some major challenges, right? What are the main hurdles our research team identified? What's standing in the way of these things becoming truly mainstream?
You're absolutely right. There are significant usability and adoption hurdles. Hardware limitations are still there, despite the progress. Battery life is always a big one. Thermal management devices getting hot. Processing power limits. And for AR, the field of view in the displays is often still quite limited. Then there's interaction complexity. Users have to learn new ways of interacting microgestures, voice commands, designing controls that are intuitive, standardized, and don't just overwhelm you with options. That's crucial.
I can definitely see that. And, the Glasshole stigma from the early smart glasses days, this still kind of lingers, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How much of a factor is social acceptance?
It's a huge factor. Devices need to be fashionable, they need to be discreet, socially unobtrusive to get past that stigma. And integrated cameras on personal devices, especially glasses, raise these ongoing social and ethical questions about constant recording. People get nervous. Plus, our research showed nearly 30% of smartwatch users actually ditch their devices within 6 months. That highlights the need for really compelling, sticky usefulness beyond just basic tracking. If the convenience doesn't clearly outweigh the perceived awkwardness or the learning curve, adoption just stalls out.
And with devices getting this close, capturing such personal data, we absolutely have to talk privacy and security. What are the unique threats here that the research brought up?
This is maybe the most critical question. The threat posed by neural data is immense. Technologies reading neural signals, EEG or EMG, they can potentially infer incredibly sensitive stuff. Your unique biometric identity, health conditions, maybe even emotional states or cognitive processes. Imagine a company inferring your stress levels or predicting what you might buy based on subconscious signals. That's way more intimate than just location data.
Wow, yeah.
Regulators are starting to notice. Some U.S. states are beginning to classify neural data as a special category needing much higher protection. Also, relying on biometrics for authentication, it opens up new ways to attack systems. Research has shown it might be possible to use fake synthetic EMG signals to impersonate someone. And just having cameras and sensors everywhere on smart glasses, that fundamentally challenges consent and existing privacy laws like GDPR, unless their use is strictly controlled. It's a frontier that governments, companies, all of us are really just starting to grapple with.
That is a lot to consider. And then there's the classic battle for the ecosystem. That always seems to be make or break for new tech platforms.
Indeed. Hardware by itself is never enough. You have to avoid the application desert. The success of these new platforms absolutely hinges on attracting a lively community of third-party developers to create those compelling killer apps right from the start. That's why companies like Meta and Samsung are pushing their developer SDKs so hard. They get it. There's also that constant tension. Create a closed, walled garden like Apple for control and profit, or foster more open, interoperable platforms like Samsung seems to be doing with its Health SDK to drive broader innovation and adoption. Cost is still a barrier, too. A lot of these advanced wearables are expensive, limiting them to early adopters or businesses. Mass market success means driving costs down through integration, economies of scale. And finally, especially for medical devices and DCIs, navigating those complex regulatory and safety approvals can really slow things down, adding another big challenge.
So pulling this all together, what does it mean for our future? What we've seen this week, it's not just cool gadgets. It's this convergence, right?
Right.
Accessible AR hardware, intuitive neural interfaces, powerful AI interpreting biological data, all these different form factors. This really feels like the blueprint for the next generation of human-computer interaction, moving from devices we just command to systems we truly collaborate with.
Exactly. And our research team predicts a few key accelerations coming soon. Expect an intense race to build out those AR application ecosystems. Lots of developer incentives coming, probably. And while broad consumer use of neural interfaces might still be a little way off, we'll see robust, multimodal systems deployed in targeted areas, enterprise, medical settings for secure, hands-free control, and assistive tech.
And it really seems like health is going to be the Trojan horse, isn't it? Getting us used to this deeper integration.
Precisely. Expect to see advanced health monitoring, sleep analysis, stress tracking, biomarkers popping up in more form factors, smart rings, clothing, even those smart shoes. Using wellness is the compelling reason to get users comfortable with deeper integration. The era of just passively logging data, that's over. The strapped-in era is here, and it's fundamentally redefining our relationship with technology.
The companies that lead this massive shift, they won't just be hardware masters. They'll need to nail that delicate balance between intuitive design, powerful AI, strong developer ecosystems, and maybe most critically, earning and keeping your trust in an age where unprecedented amounts of personal data are being collected. The future of computing isn't just on our bodies anymore. It's really becoming a part of us.
You know, what stands out to me thinking about all this is the potential for these systems to become so personalized, so predictive, that they almost anticipate our needs, blurring that line between technology and, well, intuition. It raises a fascinating question for you, the listener. As these technologies become true extensions of ourselves, how will our sense of self, our very identity, evolve when our thoughts and physical capabilities are so deeply intertwined with the digital world?
Powerful stuff indeed. Thanks for being strapped in with us this week on Tomorrow Unveiled. If you're finding this insightful, please do take a moment to like this video, subscribe to Tomorrow Unveiled, and maybe hit that new hype button to help us reach more viewers. And definitely turn on notifications so you never miss an update on the future. If you're listening on a podcast service like Apple Podcasts or Spotify, we'd be incredibly grateful if you could leave us a rating and review for Tomorrow Unveiled. It genuinely helps us reach new listeners, and we love hearing your thoughts. Whether you're on YouTube or your favorite podcast app, leave a comment and let us know what you think about the future of wearable tech. We'll see you next time.